Welcome back, everybody. I hope everyone had a great New Year party and enjoyed all the holidays. I myself had a great holiday. I was back in California with my family, and my nephew, he absolutely got the best holiday ever. He got spoiled the shit out of this year. I mean, this kid got a Nintendo Switch, he got Mario Party, Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros. And yet, this kid plays Minecraft all day. And I even confronted him about it, and I was like, why are you playing a shitty game when you can play your newer, much better games? Yeah, his response wasn't so kind. And since I was back home with family, and we all love movies, we did watch a lot. Wonder Woman, I was kind of meh about. Mandalorian Season 2, again, that was kind of meh for me. But we did watch this movie Pet, which is the only horror movie I think I watched over the last week and a half. And it starred Mary from Lord of the Rings, which had a very interesting concept. It's just so poorly executed. The movie was just shit. Don't watch it. It sucked. But, I'm still grateful for the experience because I love horror. And I really just can't get enough of it. It's partly why I even started this YouTube channel, because I wanted to talk about it more to more people. One of the things I love about being a lover of movies is that it has warped my mind into wanting to watch any kind of movie. No matter the year or the genre, if it's a good story, it's a good story. You could say the same thing about music. A good song is a good song, no matter the time of the year. Some assholes think Christmas songs should only be played around Christmas. I dare those same people to say, you shouldn't listen to Do They Know It's Christmas to this guy.
I'll play this in August. I don't even care.
At Christmas time.
My point is that I wanted to watch an old movie for the first time and run it through a series I'd like to call the Nostalgia Test. With my first pick, I wanted to pick something appropriate with the time of the year. Everywhere I looked for suggestions, the same movie popped up. Black Christmas. Not to be confused with the recent dumpster fire of Black Christmas 2019.
I want you to suck a fat fart because you just got Zeta'd.
Oh my gosh, after watching this shit movie, it even pays homage to the original with the same kind of scenes, only doing it shittier. And this movie has so many years, 50 years. The original Black Christmas came out 50 years before. And damn it, Blumhouse, you've come out with some of my favorite movies of all time. But you've also come out with some really shitty movies. Also, not to confuse it with the Black Christmas that came out in 2006, starring one of my favorite childhood crushes, Dawn from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That one had two crazy ugly looking villains. One of them a demented ogre size of a person. You don't really know if it's male or female. It's honestly that ambiguous. Or ambiguous. I don't know what the fuck it is. And another with a skin disease that made him into a weird looking orange man.
Wrong.
Sorry. I meant a weird looking yellow man. And it wasn't that one either. And I watched both of those movies the same day just for this video.
The hardest choices require the strongest wills.
Mostly just so you guys wouldn't want to watch them, because here's my quick review of those two movies. They both suck. 2006's Black Christmas is just a shitty slasher movie. Holy shit, that is not how skinning works. Did they even do any research for this movie? I know slasher movies aren't known for super realism, but when it comes to their violence, they could try making it a little bit more realistic. And the 2019 Black Christmas, it's just so fucking political and trying to be so woke in your face. It's really not enjoyable at all.
Just because we're taking our rightful place behind them doesn't mean that we aren't needed.
That movie was seriously so fucking hard to watch. Oh, and one of the dumbest parts about the 2006 Black Christmas is that the main villain, who's obsessed with Christmas, he gets impaled by a Christmas tree star instead of, breaking the shitty ornament and bending the tree in half when he gets thrown from a floor 15 feet above it. But no, he lands perfectly on top of the tree and gets perfectly impaled and just fucking sits there. You know, you don't need to have weird-ass looking villains in your horror movies, right? I mean, obviously there are exceptions. I mean, Jason looked weird, Freddy looked weird, but I mean, this guy is just a serial killer. I mean, you could compare him to like Scream. All you really need is a good villain, scary moments, main characters you like enough so you can give a shit when they die, and a decent plot, and boom, you got yourself a good enough horror movie. Anything extra would make it above average. Now, let's break down a 50-year-old movie and see if it holds up. And there will be spoilers, but then again, this is a 50-year-old movie, so you had plenty of time to watch it. But just in case you want to keep it fresh, skip to this time code to get my overall review on the whole movie. We are introduced to the story by an extra wide shot of the house where most of the movie takes place. At first it seems to drag because for a few solid minutes we're just listening to Silent Night and watching the intro credits. A person enters into the house and the camera follows her from the outside, literally. It didn't take long for me to figure out, because I am so fucking smart, that the camera is the killer. And damn, I thought that the movie Maniac was the first and only movie that actually tried that. Well, we watch our killer find his way into the house, and just hearing him breathe and move around really pulls you into his shoes. We are then introduced to our main characters, and unfortunately, the harder they are, the bitchier they are. Damn, if we are only a few minutes in, and the realism of the characters are near documentary level. We then get our first creepy phone call in the story, and hell, it may be in cinema history. I actually double checked, and this movie came out 5 years before the original When a Stranger Calls. Maybe this movie inspired the script for that movie. I know that's not a lot of research, but if you care enough, look it up yourselves. This phone call is utterly terrifying. The voice changes, the random sounds sound like an actual psychopath would do this. They also throw in a Mormon joke that made me bust up a little bit more than it should have, because, I mean, I am a bit biased towards those jokes because I am one of them. We are then introduced to our first scare, and it's pretty weak. I mean, the guy is barely hiding in an open closet behind some plastic clothing hangers, or like hanger bags, and he gets the jump on a girl who pretty much knows someone is there. But the kill works in a way that is pretty believable, unlike this epic kill from one of the shittiest modern slashers. I really don't understand this killer. You're trying to be sneaky, and you kill a guy by stabbing him in the stomach like 4 times. You know that wouldn't kill a person, right? I mean, not that I would know how to... Anyway, you know this guy is on top of the guy, already stabbed him once, and the guy's hands are at his sides in shock. You know you have plenty of opportunity to stab him. Anywhere else? Preferably somewhere a little more lethal? I mean, if you want to do comparisons, Black Christmas's closet kill scene is fucking gold compared to this garbage. Anyways, back to the movie. So the house mom gets introduced, and what an introduction. The second she gets some alone time, she goes to a bookshelf and grabs a book that has a secret bottle of sherry in it. Wow, I guess no one in this house gives a shit about the little library that they have. And then we get a quick phone call that tells us one of our main girls is about to tell some bad news to her boyfriend. And we are back to the house mother, who is brushing her teeth and rinsing with another bottle of hidden sherry. And this one's in the back of the toilet tank. What? Has really no one noticed that before? I mean, she fishes it out with an attached string. Has nobody else ever had toilet problems and had to check the toilet tank? Also, fucking gross. But when in Rome, I guess. We then get a glimpse of the first dead girl in the attic, and our serial killer is just rocking her in a chair and singing a creepy song.
As one does.
I love how we haven't actually seen the killer yet. It really adds to the mystery very well. Now, it's the next morning, and our first dead girl is being noticed for not being where she should be by her father. So he is now on the search. Meanwhile, we sidetrack to a Santa that just can't stop swearing, and also our sorority drunk girl who, well, can't stop drinking. And none of the kids are bothered by it. I mean, if I knew I could swear at the children with zero complaint by parents or children, I'd sign up to be Santa every damn year. We cut back to the father of our dead girl, bitching about how the sorority house is run to the mom of the house. I mean, I guess there was a time when it wasn't common knowledge that sororities and frats weren't mini cults focused on partying, drinking, or brutal or weird initiations. I mean, the 70s, huh? What a time to be alive. Not that I would know. I mean, I'm in my late 20s and I have zero experience with college frats or sororities. Good thing I live off of horror movies, which, of course, are very well known for their realism.
Hey, baby, in town long? Oh, yeah, making my loaf rise.
And since it's a scene with the house mom, she pulls out yet another bottle of sherry. But this one came from her purse, so I guess that's better. Anyways, they go off to look for the girl at the local frat house. We cut away to the hottest and one of the worst girls in the sorority telling her boyfriend, who has been practicing for days for this piano, recital or audition, something like that she tells him that she's pregnant. And wouldn't you know, he couldn't be happier. Unfortunately for him, she wants an abortion. And this guy has the audacity to say that this is something she can't do before talking to him about it. And then she throws a quick, "I wasn't even going to tell you" line. Gee, kind of makes you wonder why you didn't tell him. Or better, wait I don't know, one more fucking day to bring this up? I mean, it's not like you had a phone call with this guy last night and he said that he hasn't slept in 3 days because he's been practicing so hard for this audition. Oh wait, that did happen! I mean, at this point in the movie, I wanted her to be the next girl that died. What a shitty thing to do to another person at the literal worst moment. The silver lining is that he tells her off, but it should have been harsher. Honestly, he has every right to be really pissed off at this chick. We cut to the dad at the frat house and with the house drunk and the cussing Santa, and it's a minor scene, but you see the hot drunk girl having the time of her life by giving alcohol to what looks like a 9-year-old. We get another spooky phone call scene, and some of our characters are at the police station trying to work with an idiot cop. We cut back to the house, and the pregnant girl is with the house mom, and as the house mom enters, she goes for her 4th stash of sherry, and this bottle is empty. No! We cut to the piano man, and he is fucking up his audition about as bad as you'd think he would. Gee, it's almost like there is something on his mind, something so damn big and important that it probably should have waited. One more day. Or, I'll even go a little bit further. Just till after his recital. Jeez. And now we're back at the police station. And we're introduced to a mother who is missing her young daughter. And she's not been heard of for a few hours. The boyfriend of our dead girl and the pregnant girl arrive at the station to raise hell and be taken seriously. Go get him, bud. Back at the house, our drunk girl is flipping out, screaming, talking about turtle sex and how she thinks everyone thinks it's her fault that our first dead girl is missing. Because she was kind of bitchy to her before, but honestly, it wasn't really that big of a deal. And we're back again with our piano man, just in time to see him hack at this piano with a music sheet holder stand. I don't know what they're called, but you know what I'm talking about. I get that he's pissed and everything, but he is a college student. There's no way that this piano is his, so he's just destroying something that he'll have to pay for later. I mean, people who are angry really make the dumbest decisions. Meanwhile, most of the cast is a part of the community police search party of the local park looking for the missing girl of the mother from before, and they probably hope they'll find our first dead girl. The audience knows she's in the attic, but the characters don't, which is nice because they really should be looking all over. However, it really makes you wonder why they haven't searched the attic. I guess if you're looking for a small child, you would probably check every corner of the house you last saw him. I guess it would be different for an adult, but still, it's a big house. You probably still check in more places than just her room. We cut back to the house, and a questionable character is waiting outside watching the house. Maybe there are 2 killers in this movie. Wouldn't that be the dream? 2 people with so much in common, meeting at the same place, at the same time, trying to do the same thing, anyways. Our house mom is back with a fresh bottle as she is packing up. It really makes you wonder if that brand of sherry paid for this whole fucking movie. The house mom hears her cat in the attic, so she goes to find him. She sees our dead girl and turns around only to see this hooked pulley system get thrown at her face from the killer, and the second it hits her, she gets pulled up into the attic screaming. It's a pretty good kill for a 50-year-old movie. And we're treated to our killer going absolutely apeshit in the attic after he realized he got away with another kill. Not what I would do, but to each their own. Okay, we get to another artistic scene, or shot, where we see our first dead girl from outside the house. She's like right in front of the windowsill with a fucking candle right next to her. How has no one noticed her? I mean, this is probably my biggest problem with this whole movie. Somebody would have seen her, especially at night with that little candle lighting up the plastic bag around her face. Back at the park, they find the body of the missing young girl, and it's a big surprise to them, but not to us, the audience. But luckily for us, our pregnant girl gets home in the nick of time to listen to yet another creepy phone call, which is really good. I really wanted more of that to record for my white noise machines for when I go to bed at night.
Wait, what the fuck is up, dude? What the fuck is up, dude?
She hangs up the phone and calls the cops. Piano Man sneaks up on her for a little jump scare. He tells her his recital bombed in a sarcastic tone, and she says, "How about you stop attacking me and let's have a rational adult conversation?" And I'm just sitting here like, bitch, you don't know the first fucking thing about being an irrational adult. Back at the police station, the intelligent cops are being told about the missing girl. The phone calls, and they think that it should be taken pretty damn seriously. And they have a good time making the idiot cop feel like an idiot. Back at the house, we get the piano man and the pregnant lady verbally duking it out. He storms off while making threats, making us a little suspicious of him, because we still don't know who the killer is. The police arrive at the house to tap the phone to trace where the creepy calls are coming from. The night goes on, and our killer plays with the bodies in the attic for a minute. Kind of makes you think when those bodies are going to shit themselves. Or maybe it's just me. And no normal person would think about that while they're watching a movie. Gee, thanks, South Park. We get some child carolers with the most operatic of singing voices, while our killer winds up to kill our house drunk girl. Makes me sad, of course, because she really is, like, the hottest one here, or arguably the second hottest, but this kill, holy shit. I could not believe a movie like this could creep me out so much, but it is one of the creepiest kills I've ever seen in a film. So the carolers bounce because a higher up in the caroling biz says they need to go home, and whispers to one of our sorority girls that a young girl was found murdered in the park recently. Nice little touch of having plot points in the movie affecting minor characters in the story. And we cue another creepy phone call. And this time we get to see how call tracing worked back in the day. And holy shit, that was not a one-man job. I mean, this poor guy is running through aisles and aisles of machines at this phone company. Why didn't they have more than one person helping this poor guy out? I mean, we get another weird call, but it's from the piano man, making us just a little bit more suspicious of the guy. A few minutes pass and our nicest girl, meaning she is the least attractive, goes to check in on our now dead drunk girl, and the second she walks into the room, the door closes behind her. Well, she's dead. We get a scene of the cops finding the piano that our piano guy destroyed. Sorry, buddy, you're looking more and more suspicious by the minute. Next, we get to physically see our creepy caller make the phone call at the house from the house mom's room. What a risk taker. I mean, he's made like 6 calls in like 2 days to the same house, and every time he has to leave the safety of the attic to go into that room to make that call. How has he been able to do that without anyone seeing him? I mean, we are now deep in unrealistic territory here. That's like Metal Gear level of stealth.
I'm famished.
What was that noise? I mean, this call actually gets traced, and the cops figure out that the calls are coming from inside the house. Okay, now I gotta watch the original When a Stranger Calls, because if they made an entire movie off of one scene from a movie that came out 5 years prior, that's just next level cash grab. The cops try to radio the cop that was stationed outside the house, but we, the audience, see that he is dead. I don't know how the hell our killer killed the drunk girl in her room, then killed the cop outside, then got back into the drunk girl's room, and then killed the nice girl. Or in some order of events, I don't know how he was able to pull this off, is the point. I mean, it kind of makes my 2-killer theory not sound so ridiculous for this script. Or the script didn't take that into account. The smart cops radio to the idiot cop at the station to call the girl to get her out of the house without making her panic. I know he's the idiot cop here, but he honestly does the best he can. There is no way the pregnant girl was going to leave the house without her other 2 friends in the house, no matter what the guy said. Now, this movie delivers on the suspense, terror, and desperation of our last surviving girl, and it could not have been executed better. She walks in on our killer, and he keeps his level of psycho at 100, and we are treated to another creepy shot of his green eye watching her from the crack in the door, and she fucks off as fast as her legs can take her. Now he chases after her, and he really puts in the effort. I mean, she manages to lock herself in the basement and overhears the killer leave out the front door. She sees a shadowy figure trying to look through the window, calling her name. He breaks through the window, and wouldn't you know it, it's the piano man. And he is being much creepier than anyone should be unless they're our killer. We cut to the police arriving at the house just to see our knocked out pregnant girl and our dead piano man with his blue eyes. Uh-oh. All of our surviving characters are now at the house, and it's all hands on deck, getting all of the dead bodies and a recently passed out father of our first dead girl to the hospital. Now that everyone is gone, we pan away to see that our killer is still in the attic with the first girl and the house mom. Fuck, I guess not a single damn soul thought to check the attic? Or, the rest of the house? I mean, just the basement did they just think, I'll just check the basement with our piano man and pregnant girl, and the upstairs with our dead drunk girl and the dead nice girl. You'd think that after finding 3 dead bodies in a house that the cops would be a bit more thorough and check for more dead bodies. We pan outside to see our dead-bagged girl in the window for the whole world to see, and a cop waiting outside the main door. The phone rings, but he doesn't go inside to answer it, and the credits roll. Well, I think it's safe to say that the killer is going to get the last girl, and probably the cop outside. Maybe he stays and hangs out with the bodies until the police come back, or he bounces and just goes to another sorority house. I like to think the latter happens. Clearly, this guy has some talents. So, what do I think of this ancient movie? Well, it's pretty damn good. Obviously, some things are a bit dated, and how our killer got away with so much without anyone noticing. It's a bit unrealistic, but I liked most of the characters, the structure, and the scares were on point. And the humor was nicely added on. I give this movie an 8 out of 10, and one of the best, if not the best, Christmas horror movie I've ever seen. Then again, the bar really isn't high for this specific category.
What are you doing? What is that thing?
you kidding?
Honestly, this ending is so open-ended, you kind of wonder why the remakes? Why didn't they just make sequels? Instead of trying to tell the same damn story, just weirder or more hashtag current or woke or whatever the fuck. Anyway, whatever. Thanks for watching. Stay spooky.